coming our way, Iran's powerful paramilitary force, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, has now pledged allegiance to Iran's newly appointed Supreme Leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, allowing his succession and selection as the successor to his father, Ali Khamenei. Now, the pledge came shortly after the powerful clerical body, the Assembly of Experts, formally named Mojtaba Khamenei as the new head of the Islamic Republic. In a statement carried by local media, the IRGC has said that it is prepared for complete obedience and self-sacrifice in carrying out the directives of the country's new supreme leader. The guards reaffirmed their loyalty to Mojtaba Khamenei, referring to him as the guardian jurist of the time and signaling the military establishment's backing for the new leadership. Let me rope in Mr. Srivastava on this. Mr. Srivastava, a very significant development here coming out of Iran. We now have a supreme leader in place. It's the son of the former supreme leader, and we have someone who has the backing of the IRGC. Now, we know that the IRGC is an organization that calls the shots mostly in Iran, even if the government is somewhat functioning separately. But we know that IRGC calls the shots, and that's why Mojtaba Khamenei was also in fact elected. He was a mid-level cleric. He had not reached the level of being appointed the supreme leader in succession. But since he was the son and since he has the IRGC backing, and we had seen that during the US-Israel attacks, most of the top leadership had been obliterated, he was the next in line. So how are you looking at these developments and that IRGC now has a person in place who they back?
First of all, a very good morning to you. Good morning to Devnath sir and to all the viewers. You know, this development is a significant development. And someone had to replace him, the Khamenei, Ayatollah Khamenei, who was killed in that airstrike, and that process of the selection was going on with the Assembly of Experts. They were mulling over it for several days, and also they were taking all sorts of caution and care so that the new leadership is also not targeted immediately the moment they announce. And obviously that kind of a threat will remain, but someone had to take the position of a supreme leader, and there's no doubt there's the Mojtaba Khamenei, who is the second leader of the late Ayatollah Khamenei, has now taken over. Assembly of Experts have selected him, and I think considering the kind of crisis this Islamic regime is having at this point of time, and the kind of severe threats and challenges they are facing, I think this is the most appropriate decision, because there's no doubt that he has had close links with IRGC, and of course he is the son of Ayatollah Khamenei. So and he has been, Mojtaba Khamenei, he has been closely associated with the various actions which the Islamic regime took over the years, over the decades, I would say. And he has been closely involved into several actions which IRGC took and Basi's forces took. Mojtaba Khamenei has been very close to Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. He joined that IRGC, and also later the Basi's paramilitary forces. He controlled that Basi's paramilitary forces like its head, and there's no doubt that he's hardliner, and he is closely associated with the various commanders of the IRGC, which is a very powerful, the most powerful body of the entire Islamic regime. And so I think IRGC has shown allegiance to it. Basi's forces certainly will show the allegiance. And also we have seen the statements coming from the terror proxies, Hezbollah, and several other proxies. I'm sure that they are going to be giving him the full support. And there's one thing is quite clear, that this Islamic regime is under severe threat, and they are going to be targeted severely by United States of America and Israel in times ahead. and that process is still continuing. So in that kind of crisis situation, there is a call for unity from various leaders of the Islamic regime to show their allegiance to the new supreme leader, and I'm sure that they are going to give him full support in these hours of crisis, or even later on when the things get normalized. So I think Mojtaba Khamenei is the new supreme leader. That is the reality of the day. But his life is not going to be easy at all, and rather his challenges have now become much more than it was yesterday, and that is why he'll have to take all caution and care while going ahead with its operations. But one thing I would say certainly, and that it's high time that a new supreme leader of Iran, Mojtaba Khamenei, should give serious considerations to the path of dialogue and diplomacy. So since he has taken over, this Islamic regime has been substantially weakened with the massive strikes, and that kind of a strike is going on. So rather going for the path of confrontation any further, I think this remaining leadership and new leadership of Islamic regime should give and should open the path of dialogue and diplomacy, saying that it's a new dawn, it's a new beginning. So I'm offering this. So I think this kind of wisdom, if he exercises, then he will be able to make his path smoother than what it is today. And till the time Islamic regime does that, and they show some constructive signs of changing their various policy and approaches towards Israel or towards terrorism or towards nuclear issues, I think their life is not going to be easy at all. So I think it's a new dawn, it's a new beginning for the Islamic regime. But I think the days are day is tough, and everything is going to be very challenging.
Absolutely.
But if he exercises caution and wisdom, both, I think he will be able to sail through.
Absolutely. I'll take that.